Hello everyone, this is your host TrevCL, and welcome to another Pokemon Challenge video. Today I've got another bite-sized 7-minute solo video for you. Join me as I try to answer the question, can you beat Pokemon Sapphire with only a single Mewtwo? Now I think the answer should be quite obvious. However, just how easy is it to beat this game with Mewtwo? Sporting the second highest special attack stat as of Generation 3, it is truly one of the biggest powerhouses in the entire franchise. But special attacking isn't Mewtwo's only strength. It also sports an incredible 130 base speed, and base 106 HP, base 90 defense, and special defense makes it incredibly tough to kill. Even base 110 attack would be considered amazing for many Pokemon, and I doubt I'll be using it very much, if at all, during the run. I will say that Mewtwo's learn sets are a bit of a mixed bag. Like most legendary Pokemon, Mewtwo was not intended to start out at level 5, so its early and mid-game level up learn set is pretty weak in comparison to most Pokemon. However, Mewtwo more than makes up for that weakness by learning 40 out of the 50 TMs, with many of them being incredibly useful like Calm Mind, Psychic, Shadow Ball, Bulk Up, the Bolt Beam combo, and Flamethrower/Fire Blast. So early game might be tougher than you expect, but by the mid-game, Mewtwo should be slaying everything. Lastly, the rules we'll be using are the usual ones, and those are on screen now. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, as doing so really keeps me motivated to keep uploading, whether it be the shorter videos or especially my longer ones. Let's get into the run. With a Pokemon like Mewtwo, did I really need to reset for good IVs in nature? No, but the competitive player that I am would not allow for anything bad. So I end up with this modest Mewtwo with respectable stats. Let's rock everything with our special attacks. Rock Sand was really no challenge at all, although it certainly helped that Mewtwo dodged every one of her first few Rock Tombs. Nose Pass was a bit annoying to deal with due to its relatively high special defense and Mewtwo's low level, however, it didn't deal much damage in return, so Mewtwo was eventually able to reign supreme. Brawly never stood a chance. Again, my low level means not being able to kill either Machop or Makihita with the first confusion, though I suppose it was simply a damage roll as both went down to the second confusion after being healed to full with a super potion. As expected, Watson turned out to be a bit of a barrier. A weak 50 base power confusion, plus being underleveled, plus him having 2 steel types, was just too much for even Mewtwo to overcome. I solved this problem in 2 ways. One, I leveled up quite a bit to go from being underleveled to being a couple levels higher than his ace. And 2, I grinded for about 20 minutes on the low level Whismers holding the Macho Brace. This gives me a ton of HP EVs, and you can see the difference in HP despite only having a 5 level difference from my last attempts. Magneton did take many hits to bring down, but this new added bulk and some confusion luck led to Mewtwo picking up the hard-fought victory. With the addition of Shockwave from Watson, what would have been a tough Archie fight became trivial. Just a simple sand attack from his lead Mightyena, otherwise Golbat and Sharpedo went down in 1 Shockwave. Flannery's first 2 Slugma went down in just 1 confusion each, meaning I have full health going into the Torkoal fight. It's a big back and forth, and every time its health went low and responded back with a flail, my heart stopped for a second. Thankfully, on the turn where I brought Torkoal to what must have been literally 1 HP, she went for Body Slam instead. I had the Cherry Berry, so I was never in any danger to losing even if she did get to paralysis. I knew that the Norman fight would take a while, as Confusion is still my strongest move available at this point. I was able to set up a barrier to avoid taking lots of damage from Facade, and with Mewtwo having the Chesto Berry, I did not have to worry about Yawn. The first Slaking went down easy enough, as did the Vigoroth. The second Slaking fight was just like my fight with Flannery's Torkoal, long and drawn out. I even thought that I could lose at one point, but luckily Mewtwo was able to survive just long enough to make it through Slaking, despite the use of Hyper Potions. We're running a bit low on time, so I'm going to speed through this last section prior to the Elite Four. Thanks to the TM additions of Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, Sunny Day, and Solar Beam, this section went by fast with no issues anyways. I haven't taught Thunderbolt quite yet, but even the Wave Beam combo absolutely obliterates Winona, all of her Pokemon going down in 1 hit to either Shockwave or Ice Beam. For Tate and Liza, I utilized their own strategy against them, setting up the Sun first as my fodder goes down on turn 1. Afterwards, both Solrock and Lunatone are vaporized with a single Solar Beam. Finally, the 8th and last Gym Leader, Wallace, has his turn on the chopping block. He did offer the most resistance out of the 3 Gym Leaders in this section, but still came nowhere close to the difficulty of Watson, Flannery, or Norman. Once this game opened up with the ability to surf, Mewtwo got a huge boost in its move pool diversity. The Hoenn Elite Four, as always, starts off with the Dark-type specialist Sydney. You'd think that this would be Mewtwo's hardest challenge yet. Completely immune to my psychic attacks, and the dark type moves in return deal super effective damage. This was not the case. The Calm Mind TM we got from beating Tate and Liza turns Mewtwo from amazing to nearly unbeatable. Plus 2 Bolt Beam is enough to tear apart Sydney. Phoebe does take quite a few tries, entirely due to Curse being an automatic reset. The first chance that I had to set up some Calm Minds and take out her lead Dusclops also happened to be the attempt that I won, debuting in this battle as Psychic, with the TM being acquired back in Victory Road. That concludes the half of the Elite Four that gave me trouble, as Glacia and Drake were complete jokes. I suppose Glacia could have been an issue had she frozen me with Ice Beam, but thankfully no freeze of any kind occurred, and I swept her with a combination of Psychic and Thunderbolt. If you have a strong special attacker with decent speed and Ice Beam, Drake's by far the easiest member. Mewtwo falls under this category, meaning it's champion time. Let's go beat Steven. Back at the Lily Cove department store, I picked up the Fire Blast TM, and now, using it, I have the perfect coverage to defeat Steven. I decided to just melt the Skarmory with said Fire Blast right away, not wanting to risk Toxic. I used the Cradily to set up an easy Calm Mind, and then back-to-back Ice Beams are enough to take down both it and Claydol. Despite not being weak to Fire Blast, Aggron's poor special defense proves to be its undoing. Surprisingly, Armato is just barely able to live a Psychic, though this allows me to set up a second Calm Mind on the predicted full restore. After dispatching of it with a follow-up Psychic, it all comes down to if I can land one last Fire Blast against Steven's Metagross. For the third, and final time this battle, Fire Blast connects, and I've done it. I've defeated Pokemon Sapphire with only a single Mewtwo, ending at the very low level of 52. Thank you all for watching. I know I've only been uploading these 7-minute solos recently, so I just want to let you know that I've got a normal length video coming out soon. To celebrate the upcoming Legend of Arceus game coming out later this month, I will be uploading an Arceus Solo Run in Pokemon SoulSilver right before the game's release, on Wednesday, January the 26th. So be sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you'll be notified when that video is out. Peace!